All right, y'all, today we're going to be going over a simple beginner scalping strategy. This is one of the first trading strategies that I learned when I first began trading, and I was recently revisiting it, noticing that, hey, you know what, this is not really a bad strategy. It actually has a pretty high win rate, and if combined with good risk management, you can actually be profitable over time trading this way. Now, I recommend this for beginners, people who are getting new into trading, who are not necessarily experts at technical analysis, because it will give you very clear things to look for, and the signals are very, very precise. It's very easy to tell if there's a trade entry or if there's not a trade entry. The stop losses are very, very clear, and so are the take profits. So it's great for beginners. If this is something you're interested in, guys, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. So for this strategy, the two indicators that we're going to be using are the RSI and Bollinger Bands. Now, currently, if you follow this channel, you know that I no longer use the RSI. I use Market Cipher B as my oscillator, my primary oscillator. It's much, much more powerful than the RSI. But for the sake of this strategy, and because this is how I learned it, I'm going to be using the good old RSI. So we're going to come to indicators and search for RSI. Go ahead and click the Relative Strength Index. And then we're going to come over here to indicators and search for Bollinger bands. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the regular old Bollinger Bands. And what we're going to do is simply, well, let's talk about time frames first. This can be done, I like to do this the most, on the 3-minute, the 6-minute, and the 12-minute time frames. Okay? People ask why the 6-minute and not the 5-minute. I think because it's a multiple of 60 and the candles are actually more in line with the hour, and I think that perhaps you can get better signals on the 6-minute than using the 5-minute time frame. So how does this strategy work? What we're going to do is first we are going to wait for a candle to wick into the either top Bollinger Band up here or the bottom Bollinger Band down here. So just as an example, right now, this would be a potential, which is happening literally right now. The candle is coming up into the Bollinger Band. We would look for a trade entry right here. We would have looked for a trade entry right over here, right over here. We would have looked for one right over here. We would have looked for a long down here. And this can be used for longing and shorting. And primarily, I am using Bitcoin USD on ByBit right now to go over this. But you can do this for literally any asset, okay? When the price comes to the bottom of the Bollinger Band and the candle comes below the Bollinger Band or above the Bollinger Band, we are going to be looking for an entry, and then we are going to look for a divergence on the RSI as the candle is coming into the Bollinger Band. What is a divergence? A divergence is where price and momentum are doing the opposite thing. So if you see price making a higher high, wicking into the Bollinger Band, and the RSI is simultaneously making a lower high, that is a bearish divergence, and this would be a short signal entry. If, on the other hand, we see price is making a lower low as it wicks below the Bollinger Band, yet we see the RSI here is making a higher low, that is a bullish divergence, and that would be a long signal to enter the trade. Okay, so let's see. This is Bitcoin on the 12-minute time frame. Let's go down to the 3-minute time frame, because obviously the lower the time frame, the more signals you'll have. You just have to be aware that the lower the time frame, right, the more you have to be very careful about limiting in to your trades and not market ordering in, right? Because you can get eaten up by fees on a lower time frame. To do this comfortably, I do recommend a higher term time frame like the 12-minute, especially if you're newer. If you're newer at this, I recommend a higher term time frame. If you're more experienced, a lower term time frame would suffice. So we're just going to go back in time, and we're going to see where we get our signals. So remember, we're looking for price to make a lower low or a higher high, and momentum to do the opposite. So I'm going to start over here, and we can see immediately that price makes a lower low, wicking below the Bollinger Band, and we can see that momentum is making a higher low on the RSI. Now the RSI, we're going to be focusing mostly on this purple line. We're not going to be focusing on the orange line, okay? We're going to be focusing on this purple line. So I can even turn off the yellow line in general. The RSI based moving average, turn that thing off. And we are just going to be looking for these two signals. we want to see price making a lower low as the price wicks below the Bollinger Band, and we want to see momentum making a higher low. Immediately what we do is we try to limit into a trade if we can, okay? And let's say we get our entry right here. Our stop loss goes below that wick. Take profit 1 is going to be at the center Bollinger Band, and our take profit 2 is going to be at the top Bollinger Band. Okay, now it really is that simple, guys. And yes, it can be a little bit hard to take profits because the Bollinger Bands are developing as time happens. So the way that I like to do it is, let's say for example, right now I was going to enter a short here because we can see that price has wicked into the Bollinger Band and momentum has made a lower high on the RSI. So this is absolutely a short signal right here happening live on the video. And so what I would do right now is I would put my stop loss above here, give it a little bit of breathing room, guys, because, you know, price can in fact wick back up. And then right now I would go ahead and set a limit take profit order number 1 right here at the middle line, limit order 2 right here at the lower line, take profit 1. You know, you can take 50% out, move the stop loss directly to your entry, and then take profit 2, you would close the entire position. Okay, now let's see here. Okay, so that is how you are going to do it. And again, you're not going to win every single trade here, but if you use good risk management, it will be very profitable for you over time. So another example would be this right here. Price makes a higher high, comes outside the Bollinger Band. Momentum makes a lower high. We enter right here, take profit 1 at the center line, take profit 2 at the lower line. Then over here, we can see that price makes a lower low, wicking to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Momentum makes a higher low right here. And we would enter the trade here. Take profit 1 would be right here. Take profit 2 would be right here. This is an instance, guys, where you really have to be careful if you're on a lower time frame that you're limiting in and limiting out, because it's a 0.68% move, which could be a nice scalp if you're trading on a lower time frame. But if you're trading on market orders, the fees will probably be more than the actual profit you are making. Okay, so the next entry would be right here, where we wick outside the Bollinger Band, and you can see that our momentum is in fact getting lower as we make that high. And so we would try and do our best to limit in right here, and our take profit 1 would be down here at the center line. We would have never hit our take profit 2, which is why it's so important that when take profit 1 is hit, you move the stop loss to the entry. Okay, let's see, our next signal would have been right up here, where we see the price making a slightly higher high, and we see the momentum making a lower high, and we could have gotten in right here. Take profit 1 would have been down here at the center point. Eventually we would have gotten there. You know, this would have been a tricky one right here, because we would have had to market take profit when the Bollinger Band snapped to the price, and this probably would have either been a small loss or a break even. Let's see what else we got. We do have that would have not been a signal there. Let's see right here, that would have not been a signal either. That would have not been a signal either. Nope, no signals. No signals that I really see right now. So we can see right now from our current trade right here, we are in the trade, right? We came up above, we saw our divergence, and now we are in the trade coming on down to hopefully hit our take profit right here at about that 38,473 level. Okay, now again, just to go over a few things, let me remove all the drawings here on this chart. Remove all drawings. We can see that this actually is a good strategy if we are using good risk management, and I really want to harp on this. So we take profit at the midpoint and the opposite side of the Bollinger Band. And what do I mean by using good risk management? Good risk management is defined as not risking more than 1 to 5% of your capital per trade. If we're scalping like this, I don't recommend actually risking more than 0.5% of your capital. And the way I recommend doing this is actually by trading leverage on a margin trading platform such as ByBit or PHEMEX. And the reason why I recommend this is because you can risk a very small amount of capital and leverage it up to the point where you can be using 50x leverage, put 2% of your account on the trade with a 0.5% stop loss, and you will be risking only 1% of your account per trade. And actually that works very well, because if we're looking at these Bollinger Bands, even the craziest trades that we could take, we really only need like a 0.3% stop loss to give us enough playing room here, right? And so we can use higher leverage because we don't have to worry about getting liquidated, because we don't need that much playing room. If price comes above, remember, we're always putting our stop loss above the last high or low. If price comes above that, the trade is invalidated and we need to get out of the trade to avoid taking a loss. And so therefore we can use higher leverage, even up to maybe 70x. I know that sounds crazy for people, but you have to understand, when you only need a tiny amount of playroom, like this trade right here, for example, you only need a 0.15% stop loss. You can use really high leverage and leverage up a very small amount of money in order to put a large amount of money on the trade, therefore making a large profit while risking a very small amount of money. Now, if this sounds confusing to you and you want to learn more about this, check out jasoncaspertrading.com, because this course is my comprehensive trading course meant for complete beginners or even intermediate traders, and it will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, where we go over many trading strategies that you can use to be a full-time trader: day trading, scalping, swing trading, how to read the charts and feel confident in your trades, how to never trade with emotion, how to know where to enter, have a plan for every single trade you enter, stop loss, entry, take profit, all that, mindset and risk management. Currently a 20% discount in the description, but we go over in-depth risk management, how to use high leverage in order to mitigate your risk and maximize your profits, how to have a risk management strategy that even if you're not the best trader in the world, and even if you're potentially even losing more trades than you win, you are still able to be profitable over time. Okay, there's currently a 20% discount in the description. Watch as our trade live is about to hit our first take profit here on the video. I'm really glad that it worked out this way so that you guys can see this strategy in action. By the way, guys, if you want to join a really great community of traders where we do give trade setups in advance as well as daily technical analysis updates, you can go to patreon.com/JasonCasper. It's a great community of traders, and we have a really fun time there. All right, guys, that is it for this strategy video. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we do daily, well, not daily, but we do regular technical analysis updates for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins, as well as trading strategies and scalping strategies like this. All right, God bless all of you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.